Welcome to the devotional series, A Psalm a Day Keeps Satan Away, and Pondering the Parables, a special edition episode subtitled 250. And I'm Pastor D. Walk. We dropped our last episode on February 15th, about 30 days ago, and a lot has happened in the Walker clan and household since then, most notably the welcoming of our first grandchild into this world, David Paul Walker, born on February 19th. And obviously, we made a beeline to the Midwest to meet our grandchild and spend some time with our son, David Luke, and his wife, Kendall, and help them get started on this new life. It's also been one of those months where the real job, the one that pays the bill, has been very time consuming for me. And we're still dealing with the temporary studio situation here at the Walker compound. And so it's not really convenient most days to do any recording. And then finally, we did take a visit also up into Virginia to visit my elderly parents. So a busy month for us and just not an opportunity really to record anything. But here we are 30 days later. Our last episode, by the way, from February 15th, which was entitled Rules of Engagement Within the Faith Community. It's a treatise, a manifesto, if you will, of 7 principles to help guide believers, either individuals or groups, in how to deal with each other when there's conflict or varying opinions, so that within the faith community, we don't practice the cancer culture that is so prevalent in the secular world. Well, that particular episode was the most viewed, most downloaded, most opened episode that we've had so far since we've been on Substack. And I just want to thank all of you for participating and being faithful followers of this ministry. And that leads us to the subtitle of our message today, our devotional, 250, because last episode was our 249th episode. So today marks 250 for us. And I just want to take an opportunity to thank you and give you a little bit of the history for those who are new on how this thing got started several years ago. It got started after COVID, and I was looking for devotional material for my own personal consumption and just not satisfied with what was available in the marketplace, we'll call it. That's not unusual for me. One of the curses of being a biblical studies, I don't want to say scholar, but student in seminary, is that it's very difficult to really find stuff that appeals to you as a scholar, as a believer in a devotional material space. And so I decided at that particular time to kind of create my own devotional based on the Psalms. And I decided to call it A Psalm a Day Keeps Satan Away. And it became such a great exercise for me personally that I shared that a little bit with my family. So the whole thing started with a sentence or two text within my family, my kids and my wife. And then from there, a couple of friends were interested in it as I told them about what I was doing. And it kind of morphed from a text into an email. And then we had so many people getting it that my email system with Charter crashed. And we migrated to MailChimp, but MailChimp is not a very easy program to use in terms of creating content. And now we've morphed into Substack, which is a platform that is made for writers. And as they've evolved, so has this ministry in terms of going from a written document to an audio podcast and now to this video format and our 250th episode here. Our group now is well over 300. And I made a decision here about a month ago to open up the pay system within Substack. Nobody that's listening to me right now is paying for this devotional, and nor will you. But I realized within the Substack system that in order to build your audience, they only get paid if you turn on the pay system. And I wanted to experiment and see if we could expand the reach of our devotional series and our little community here if I did that. And so I've done that. Again, nobody that is listening here today at episode 250 is going to be paying for that. If you have friends or family that you want to get this devotional, please let me know, and I will definitely make those subscriptions free. But again, I just wanted to give you a sense of the evolution of this particular devotional series and this ministry for me as I retired out of the formal church business and was not really looking to do much except just take a breath. This ministry just was something that God ordained right from the get-go. And so I've embraced that. And again, with 150 Psalms and a devotional devoted to each one of those Psalms. I've created now over 65,000 words, which is enough for a book. And it's one of the dreams that I've had to try to get that published. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing in that realm, and have been trying to get the courage and the energy to pursue that. And one of the things that we've done, just kind of as an exercise, is Noelle and I actually did produce a book. And the reason I'm bringing this up now is because it is the Lenten season and we're almost at Easter. And the book that we created is called Creating a Christian Seder Worship Experience, a Maundy, Thursday, Good Friday Family Worship. And this is the result of, I guess, about 30-year exercise within our own family of trying to find something special to help our kids understand Good Friday and how that leads into Easter. And so I'm just going to read you the foreword of this book. And if it's something that you're interested in doing for your family or your small group or your Bible study class, certainly would be available to help you put this together. But the book is a how-to to create this Christian Seder worship experience for Good Friday or Maundy Thursday. So let me read this to you. For more than 3,000 years, our Jewish brothers and sisters have celebrated a Passover Seder as instructed by God in Exodus 12. As Christians, we acknowledge our own spiritual heritage in the events of the Exodus, and we recognize that those events and God's instructions to celebrate the Passover have implications for our own salvation story. Christ's exhortation to remember him, his death, and his resurrection through the wine and broken bread of Holy Communion emanates from a Passover Seder. So it seems good and right to reenact that Last Supper with a Passover Seder to be celebrated on the same night that Jesus celebrated, which would have been Maundy Thursday, because as you know, or many of you know, that a Jewish day starts at night. So Friday, Good Friday, actually starts at sundown on Thursday night. So it seems like a good idea to celebrate on the same night that Jesus did, Maundy Thursday. But a Christian celebration should be more than just a remembrance of God's deliverance of his people from Egypt. It should also point us towards Christ's death and resurrection. So about 25 years ago, on Maundy Thursday, our family began observing the Last Supper / Passover Seder as a worshipful acknowledgement of our faith and belief in Jesus Christ. We have sifted through dozens of Jewish Seder instructions, and there are literally thousands of such orders of worship out there, as well as Christianized versions that have been produced. And through time, our Seder has evolved so as to express our family's worship style and theology. And so we would like to offer this order of worship for Maundy, Thursday, Good Friday Seder in the hope that you can create a meaningful family worship experience or a meaningful small group worship experience in your home or in your church for Holy Week. God bless David and Noelle. So here's the book. It's a small little book. We published it through Amazon Publishers just to try to get a look and a feel for what it was like to publish a book. It's available on Amazon. I'll drop the link in this episode when we put it on the Substack. And again, just wanted to thank everybody again. 250 posts or episodes, I guess you call them. It's not something I ever thought would happen. And it's all because you have been faithful listeners and watchers of this devotional series, starting with the Psalms and now, of course, expanding to the parables. So we've started the Pondering the Parables series, which at first we looked at all of the kingdom of heaven is like parables, and we went through 14 episodes. And the next episode that I plan to drop will be another of the Pondering of the Parable episodes. And we'll look at the three lost parables, top fivers in my book. And so we'll look at those from Luke chapter 15 on our next time. So again, thank you very much for all that you do to make this ministry possible, which is to tune in. And Godspeed and Shalom, Pastor D. Walk, signing out.